All right. We are here with the official Crocolympics podcast. I'm Colton Rustin, and I'm here with my podcast partner, Alex Mo.
That's good.
We are here to talk about news, propaganda, and
More specifically,
techniques
and stuff about the Crocolympics. More specifically, the game between Braden Knobloch, Abby Keats, Colton Rustin, Kai McDonald, and Alex Mo and Max Harp. Yesterday.
Those are the only games that have happened yet. How do I turn on data?
Well, first of all, I would like to ask a question to Colton Rustin. What do you think on the game that you faced between you and Kai McDonald? You lost 4-0, and it was kind of painful to watch, but what do you think? What are your thoughts?
It was definitely not my best training. Kai had no training coming into it, besides about an hour and a half before we actually started, which got in my head a little bit after he won in game 1, and I just wasn't performing at my best.
That's valid.
Yeah. But I'm looking to show up and show out in the secondary tournament.
You're not. Oh yeah, you still.
Yeah, in the second bracket.
Yeah.
Both of us lost. Let's talk about the game 7 and the propaganda techniques and
the techniques in which Alex Mo is accused of putting vegetable oil in.
Yes, his trainers were accused of.
His trainers? Oh, I thought it was his Crocs. But well, it's interesting because Max lost 3 games in a row, and there have been allegations that Alex Mo had put vegetable oils in his trainers, which is quite interesting. Colton Rustin, what do you have to say on that matter?
I'm not quite sure about the vegetable oil scandals and allegations. On
Crocolympics.weebly.com.
I'm not too sure about my opinions on the propaganda and the scandals of the vegetable oil.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It could have been vegetable oil. It could have been Max being pressured and getting sweaty feet. It could have been him just not performing well, like Alex.
It could
in
be
those first 3 games. It could be
any
of those.
Options.
But let's talk about the venues.
There are currently 3 venues in the Crocolympic Games, which is Clifford Hook Park, which hosted the opening ceremony just 2 days ago, Harry Watcher Park, which will host some games, and Riverstone Public School Park, the largest venue, which would host the final in sometime close to June.
Yes.
Which is quite interesting because right now Alex Mo is in the loser's bracket, Colton Rustin is in the loser's bracket, and Braden Knobloch is also in the loser's bracket. They must go through extra games to fight their way to the final against we don't know who yet, but
and we are looking for Trayson Soul or Myron. I don't know his last name.
We won't know yet.
Yeah. Apparently it's Myron, last name initial K. Do we know that, if that's true?
No.
Alex. We do not. Okay. We are waiting for one of them for the losers bracket, and then we will have Max versus Kai. The loser of that will move over to the losers bracket, and then the loser of Trayson or Myron versus Abby Keats will move, and then Abby Keats, Trayson, or Myron will face Kai or Max, and the loser of that will go to the losers bracket and get a first round bye. A first round bye means that they move on to the second round without facing anyone in the first round of the elimination bracket.
Which is who loses game 8?
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Trayson and Myron, their games have been delayed. They were supposed to be played yesterday, but they have been delayed. Any news on why they were delayed? Colton Rustin, do you have any?
Yes, the news. Myron is currently out of town for the weekend, and Trayson Soul is not within range currently.
Sounds about right.
Notification from Austin Lutz.
Shut the fuck up.
Sent you a snap.
Well, that's a problem we have to deal with.
Should I reply, read it again, or clear it?
Or should I just press do not disturb? There we go.
Yeah.
Now you're shut up.
Alex has turned on do not disturb, so no notifications will mess with him.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, right now we're at Clifford Hook Park, just outside. It's kind of windy, but we have nothing else really to do. But another game we want to talk about is Braden Knobloch
And
versus
Abby
Abby
Keats,
Keats, which was quite a brilliant game. Braden had a comeback going. It was 3-0 down,
Yeah.
and he got back 3-1. But Abby
And then Abby shut him down.
4-1, which kind of isn't a shocker, to be honest with you.
Alex, do we know when Braden Knobloch versus Abby Keats and Colton Rustin versus Kai McDonald will be posted on TikTok and YouTube?
Well, first of all, we have faced some technical difficulties, such as the fact that the footage couldn't be really uploaded. So we're trying to figure that out. The Crocolympic Technology Committee is trying to figure that out right now. We aim to get it posted before the end of this week. So probably by Wednesday, next Wednesday. That's when we hope to get it posted. We're trying different methods, such as USB and Bluetooth switching up. So we hope it's going to work well right now. But so far, only the Alex versus Max game is up, but we'll try to get up as soon as possible.
Let's talk about the current power rankings. We have Abby Keats in first, cause she won. Wait, this is not right.
No, it should be Colton Rustin. Kai McDonald is first because
Kai
he
McDonald
shut
was in
out.
first because he got 4 straight wins against me, Colton Rustin. Followed up by Abby Keats in second, who won 4-1.
Then followed by Max Harp, who won 4-3 yesterday.
No.
Wait, 5-4.
4-3.
4-3.
Yeah. Max would be in third. And then it would go Alex in fourth, Braden in fifth, and me in sixth. Trayson and Myron are not ranked yet because they haven't played any games.
7th and 8th consecutively. Some
Here we have Father Mo and Andrew Mo.
Sorry for the slight interruption here, but we will continue on the podcast here.
Father Mo and Andrew Mo had some words of encouragement for Alex.
Yeah, especially on the vegetable allegations. We just heard some reports on that, but there isn't really much to say about it.
Yeah. Father Mo, being Alex Mo's trainer, denies putting vegetable oil in the Crocs of Maximilian Hotaxarpelium.
Maximilian, well, undeniably tried to dispute those claims by his trainer, but first of all, let's turn to Bjorn Harp, Max's trainer, who has trained with Max Harp since 2023.
Yeah. When the fake Crocolympics happened, that never actually happened.
Never actually happened.
Despite what Alex Mo says.
Despite what the website says.
Yeah.
Although Canada Got Tricks replaced the Crocolympics 2 years ago, but there wasn't actually the exact rules that we see in the Crocolympics now. Well, first of all, if you need any information on the Crocolympics, please visit www.crocolympics.weebly.com for more information on the Crocolympics. If you'd like to register for the 2026 Crocolympic Games, also visit the same website so you can sign up in the register section. Players who are participating, please visit the same website, www.crocolympics.weebly.com, and visit the player information section. Those are the played games. Myron Kenigler. What the heck?
Is that his actual last name?
No, I took a guess.
Oh, you did? Why did you? Okay.
Didn't feel right to just put a K there. So. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
so wait, does it start with a K?
I think so. That's my guess.
Oh, okay. Has he told you his last name?
No.
Oh, okay.
It just sounds like it starts with a K. Myron K.
What?
I don't know. Honestly, at this point, we don't know, but if you check the Crocolympic website, you can see the weather conditions before the game set by and the venue conditions, which is pretty interesting. You can see if the wind conditions, the sand dryness and wetness conditions, but that's just about it.
Yeah.
Well, many experts have commented on the games between Alex Mo, Colton Rustin, and Alex Mo, Max Harp, Colton Rustin, Kai McDonald, Abby Keats, and Braden Knobloch. Many experts say that Braden Knobloch could have performed better, and Abby Keats was using non-regulation shoes, supposedly.
That is not supposed. She was not wearing Crocs. We got it from her herself. She said she was wearing Nike's Air Force Ones, which are not competitive shoes, and many players are saying that she should be disqualified from the games and Braden Knobloch should be moving on to the next round. What are your thoughts on that, Alex Mel?
Well, honestly, on my thoughts on that, Abby Keats' shoes are pretty heavy, so actually I think that would like more adversely affect her performance and actually positively because the weight pushes the shoe down instead of it actually aerodynamically going through the air. So I think Braden Knobloch actually had a slight advantage there, but I don't know. Maybe Abby Keats trained in those shoes a lot more.
Yeah,
we have no clue.
I agree with you completely on that one, Alex. She has been seen training at Harry Watcher Park by myself, Alex Mo, and Maximum Hotaka Sarpelium. However, the Crocolympics TikTok did not take a photo.
Max Harp has been seen practicing at Clifford Hook Park just before the Alex Mo versus Max Harp game yesterday.
And speaking of practicing just before that
game,
let's talk about your world record-setting kick. That was an outstanding kick. We measured that to be about 20 meters from the swing. We didn't actually measure it, but that's just the eyesight estimate.
It was a guesstimate using phone AR technology and stuff. Well, first of all, what I have to say about the kick is I'm pretty sure it's pretty lucky. I was using like a completely new technique that I haven't really like used before, but I'm pretty sure it's kind of luck, to be honest with you. But still, it just proves that I have the ability to make the shots that far, which if I can do consistently.
With the best of the best. Alex Mo, talking about that kick, you said it was pure luck, and you were using a new strategy that you had.
A notification on Snapchat from Pia Volleyball sent you a snap.
Whoops.
Should I reply?
I thought you were on
Read
Do
it
Not
again,
Disturb.
or clear
It is, but it's completely useless, according.
Maybe we just turn off the speaker then.
It's fine. No, I got it.
Okay,
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I could just continue.
Sure. Yeah. You said it was all luck and you hadn't used that technique before. Were you using that technique during your 7-game series with Maximilian Hotaka Sarpelium?
Personally, I don't think so because the shoe just didn't really come off right. Like I've had problems like Colton Rustin and Kai McDonald have. Like the shoe kept on staying, especially with my left foot. It was kind of stuck on my foot, so it couldn't really come off, which resulted in like terrible shots such as 30 to 20 point shots.
And Alex Mo, do you remember which foot you shot that with?
I am pretty sure I shot the world record one. You mean? That was with my left foot, right foot. Okay. With my right foot.
And Alex Mo, you were completely correct. You will see in the footage that Colton Rustin, had quite a few shots where the croc didn't fully come off my foot.
Yes.
And also Kai having a bit of a slippery croc in one of them, causing the croc to fall off his foot early, giving him the 0 points.
Which is quite annoying, especially like for experienced players such as like Max Harp or someone similar to his level. That would be quite annoying, but you don't get You don't really get a second try for that.
Yeah. And that's what the Crocolympics is all about. If you mess up, you could be in danger of losing, winning, or fumbling the series per se.
Well, that will become an issue, especially if you're under pressure. Like we said in the Crocolympic News website, especially experts, they think that maybe Kai McDonald would succumb to especially Abby Keats' violent and sometimes extremely violent nature.
If those two did match up in the semifinals in Clifford Hook Park. Alex, speaking of Clifford Hook Park, what are your thoughts on that park?
The park, Clifford Hook Park is personally where everything really started for me, so I have like lots of good memories here especially. So every time I play at this park, I feel like very good. It's like mostly better than Harry Watcher or Clifford, Riverstone Public School.
And, while we're at one park, let's talk about the others. Harry Watcher Park.
Harry Watcher Park has an interesting layout, so the rules and point system is kind of different there compared to Clifford Hook or Riverstone. But personally, I think Harry Watcher is like a really interesting park. Like, you have equipment on one side, so the shoe has to be flicked differently and more accurately and precisely than compared to Clifford.
Yep. And that is kind of a similar layout to the Riverstone Park, except they have more swings, so you can go on the side without the playground. We have not quite figured out the point system for Clifford Hook, I believe. Or wait, Harry Watcher. Sorry, my bad.
But as soon as the players start playing there, Clifford, the Crocolympics will figure it out.
Yeah.
we've already the Crocolympics committee has already sent a testing group like 3 weeks ago to go test the Harry Watcher Park and the point systems and the stereo audio and similar stuff like that. Prepare it for the games.
You were talking about experts talking about this game and that game earlier. Let's talk about the reffing.
The reffing.
Yesterday, Kai McDonald, experts say we should kick him out of the tournament because of how bad his reffing was.
Well,
Personally, I think he only made a couple close, bad calls. What are your thoughts? Do you think we should have a new marker?
Well, personally, I don't think we should have a new marker, but some of his calls were pretty controversial. For example, he was my marker when I faced Max Harp yesterday, and one of the shots, it was like really close to the 120 mark, but it like not 120 mark, the 200 mark. So it might have been 150 points, but Kai McDonald ruled it as 130, I believe. I don't really remember. And especially one of the shots, Max Harp was really disappointed because Kai McDonald marked it as 130, although it could have been 110 because Kai McDonald kind of marked where the croc like bounced instead of where it actually landed. But personally, I think it was a really pressured game. Everyone was under pressure. We don't know, maybe he had a bad day or something, but still.
And let's talk about the pressure in Game 7. A lot of fans were rooting for Alex Mo's comeback. Down 3-0 in the series, he wins 3 straight games. He goes to Game 7. Everybody's cheering for him. We saw in the pregame interviews. We could hear the fans cheering in Clifford Hook Park. And then when we were interviewing Max, we were showing it on the Jumbotron that isn't actually here. And the fans saw us interviewing him, and they knew it was their time to shine. They were booing Maximilian Hotakis-Hypelium out of the building. And he came in his favorite sweater because he knew he could win. And he did just that, hitting the first ever 200-point shot from 1 foot. Winning the game completely with 1 foot. Alex Mo, this has to be devastating. How are you feeling after this Game 7 loss, almost 24 hours removed?
Well, personally, in my own opinion, I think his 200 shot was quite brilliant. I don't know how he could have done that, but his one shot just won the game. I mean, if he didn't get the 200, I still had a chance, but that 200 just killed off. But I think Max Harp was kind of fueled by the fans cheering and booing and jeering and stuff because he played a lot better with his fans, not his fans anymore, but his critics booing and jeering him. So personally, I think that actually fueled him, which might be kind of interesting to especially psychologists and stuff to study this kind of thing. But Colton Rustin, I have a question to ask you, especially in your game against Kai McDonald. Our marker was I think it was Braden Knobloch as our commentator. What do you think of his commentating? Because he had quite some controversial commentating, especially in the Alex Mo versus Max Harp and Colton Rustin versus Kai McDonald game.
Yeah, well, I mean, he wasn't commentating for much of me and Kai's series. Don't mind that.
It's good.
Abby Keats was commentating for 2 or 3 games, I believe.
Yeah.
And he just came in at kind of the end there. It was definitely better than Abby Keats' commentary.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate him as my broadcasting partner, and I wouldn't want really anyone else because I feel like some of the people here are biased, especially Maximilian Hotakis-Hypelium. I will not call him out, but I will say his arrogance can get the best of him sometimes, and he can shut people down in a way.
Sounds solid, sounds fair,
Yeah.
sounds good. Well, I have another question to ask you, especially on the topic of Abby Keats. We've seen Abby Keats, being slightly violent sometimes during games, especially with Max Harp.
Yeah.
She was kind of seen violent sometimes. So what do you think of that?
I think, as long as she can keep her cool, she's fine to stay in the Crocolympics. We saw her have a little, I don't know if it's called a temper tantrum, but she was very mad after Game 4 of Series 2.
Mm-hmm.
After she lost to Braden Knobloch. I mean, she bounced right back after that and won Game 5.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, she's got to show more. I think she has to show a little bit more sportsmanship, and I think that might go a little bit for Maximilian Attackers Hypelium.
Sounds about right.
Back to me thinking about the arrogance and stuff.
It sounds about right.
Yeah.
And I have one last question to ask you before you can ask me questions or sign off. And you were spotted being literally harassed and assaulted by Maximilian Attackers Harpelium Kai McDonald outside in the parking lot after the Crocolympic Games. What, how, and why? What do you feel about that, first of all?
Yeah, you know, it doesn't feel good getting 2-on-1 jumped by Max and Kai. I mean, I've seen them before. Did you see Kai after Game 7?
I saw
him. He
was
all over Max.
Yeah.
He's a Division 1 laser of him. You know, if I can get back on my game, I know I can beat Kai. And I kind of hope he makes it to the finals, so I can face him one more time. And
Makes
prove
sense.
that I am better.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Crocolympics official podcast. Signing off, or whatever.